Today we are going to discuss about the receiving, marketing, and stocking goods. Receiving the good, receiving the order material at the right time is most important for an organization because there is a demand from the patients who are coming to your hospital and you are making a bulk. For bulk, you need a raw material and other things. For that purpose, you need to maintain your inventory. So, right time is the most important for an organization to receive material. Invoices received from the supplier are checked and verified with order specification. Mean what you have demanded for your pharmacy. You are given the specification to the vendor, and vendor will bring those things. You have to check and verify. Invoice should be checked for appropriateness, quality, and quantity of the material. After checking, goods should be marked properly and include the cost code, the source, the date, and quantity received. There are hundreds of cost codes among them. Two will be indicated here. The first one is called letter code, means with alphabets, which is the best known of all cost code. Is an abbreviation of the spell of pharmacist. The second one is a simple system of straight lines in two planes or directions. Transferring the title of the goods, including the payment in time to receive maximum discount. Transfer Transfer of the title for goods basically means the transfer of the ownership of goods from the supplier to the purchaser. If the pharmacist received merchandise in good condition through freight prepaid, the goods become his responsibility. Once the goods are in your premises, in your hospital, in your pharmacy, then you are responsible. So now you are responsible for those goods. However, if the goods are delivered in a consignment, they remain the property of the supplier. The pharmacist has to pay for only the amount he sells. Buyer and seller should strive for a mutually beneficial relationship. Many different types of the purchasing exist. Developing the policies and procedures manual is important. Evaluating suppliers and maintaining ethical standard key for success. So this is a component. Nuclear pharmacy. The pharmacy in which the radioactive elements have been dispensed for the patient. Nuclear pharmacy, we generally come across two terms in literature. Nuclear pharmacy, radio pharmacy, is there any difference between the two? In my opinion, there is no difference between the two terms and they can be used interchangeably. The use of one term or the other is a matter of individual choice. The term nuclear pharmacy will be used in this chapter. The new nuclear pharmacy, radio pharmaceuticals are prepared, stored in space primarily for human use. just as regular drugs are in pharmacy. The medical pharmacy started with a trained personnel such as a radio pharmacist. This is chemist or pharmacist with special training in radio pharmaceutical chemistry. The nuclear pharmacy may serve as a center for education and training of pharmacy and nuclear medicines technology students basic research in design and development of a new radio pharmaceuticals. Here is the remedy for any adverse reaction in human due to the administration of radio pharmaceutical is sought and found. The medical pharmacist can provide education and consultation to the patient and healthcare personnel in this field. Design of a nuclear pharmacy. Several common problems should be kept in mind when designing a nuclear pharmacy unit. Protection of the personnel from the radiation hazards, avoidance of contamination of the work area, and radiation detection instruments, clear air circulation in the dispensing area, and disposal of radio waste are the common concern. The design of the nuclear pharmacy should take into account daily operational protocols, proper utilization of the available space, and provision for future growth. Nuclear pharmacy should be located within or near the nuclear medicine department because there is a close relationship between the two. The nuclear pharmacy area can be as small as 1.4 meter. Road, depending on the volume of operation. This figure shows the lead barrier shield behind with all formulation and manipulation of the radioactive material are carried out. For a large operation, the unit may consist of the several rooms. Ideally, it should have enough space for accommodating office, a accounting room, and a health physics laboratory on one side of the corridor and a high radiation hot lamp laboratory, a compounding room, a store room, and a dispensing area on the other side. The conceptual design for nuclear pharmacy unit is present in the figure. The whole area should have minimum access to the public and the patient in order to avoid radiation hazards. Many institutions have a designated area for the storage and disposal of radioactive waste on all departments, and the nuclear pharmacy can share this facility for its own storage and waste disposal. The daily transfer of radioactive waste to a central area for storage and disposal high level of radiation. Laboratory areas where compounding and dispensing are done should be equipped with a workbench made of stainless steel or wood covered with a laminated plastic. Its floor should be made up of a removable tiles or covered with a rubber matting. In the event of a spill, the contaminated tiles or rubbers matting can be readily replaced with a new one. In each laboratory, there should be an appropriate number of stainless steel sinks deep enough to prevent splashing and fitted with food controls. Each laboratory should have exhaust fume hoods fitted with a filter to absorb gases and particular radioactive materials, particularly iodines, and radioxenon. A laminar flow hood should be installed in the dispensing area for a sterile environment. The storage area should be well built with thick concrete wall, and the wall of the storage safe should be lined with lead for radiation shield. A safety shower and an eye wash should be installed for use in the case of major body contamination. Various pieces of the equipment are essential for good operation of a nuclear pharmacy. Examples are number one, a dose calibrator capable of measuring various type and level of the radioactivity. Chromatography equipment, radiation survey meters, and error monitors, a pH meter, a light microscope for particle size determination, NALTI or GELI detectors for coupled to a multi-channel analyzer to identify contaminant in radiopharmaceuticals, lead line refrigerators and freezers to store cold kits and pharmaceutical under refrigeration, a hot water bath, a dry heat oven, a well-typed NLTI counter equipment with an automatic sample changer for counting many samples. Various software packages that are used to manage the operation of nuclear pharmacies are available from the several vendors. These programs are primarily used for record keeping of the data related to nuclear pharmacy. Data such as the logging of the shipment, preparation of the radiopharmaceutical, dispensing of radiopharmaceuticals, and waste disposal can be stored in this program. Survey and white test results and patient data also can be saved in these programs. All nuclear pharmacies should have these programs available for management of nuclear pharmacies. Lead shield syringe hole for transporting the syringes containing radioactive material, as shown in this figure. Operation of a nuclear pharmacy. The daily operation of a nuclear pharmacy involves the following steps. Number one, receiving of the radioactive material, preparation of the radiopharmaceuticals, quality control test of the radiopharmaceuticals, storage, dispensing, radioactive waste disposal, and infectious waste disposal. Before the day operation is begun, the nuclear pharmacy must ensure that all equipment in the nuclear pharmacy, such as the dose calibrator, survey meter, and the LTI, well counter are in good operation condition. This is accomplished by proper calibration of E devices with standard radioactive sources. For example, 137 CS to 66 RA, 57 CO, etc. If a malfunction is noted in any instrument, it must be remedied before any measurement is made. All personnel in the nuclear pharmacy must wear a laboratory coat while handling radioactive elements. A pair of long tongues should be used in handling of the high activity, preferably behind a lead barrier shield. This is a precaution measure. Receiving and monitoring of the radioactive packages, individual user or the institutions are authorized possess and use radioactive material upon issuance of a radioactive material license by the NRC or the Agreement State Agency. The supplier required documentation of a license of user as to type and the limit of the quantity of radioactive material before shipping. Normally, delivery of the radioactive shipment is made directly to the nuclear medicine department or the nuclear pharmacy because of the short half-life of various radionuclide sites. In some institutions, radioactive shipments are delivered to the Radiation Safety Office, which then disbursed to the respective users after the proper monitoring of the package for external exposure and contamination. Monitoring of package is required according to the CFR. The package are labeled as containing radioactive material. Briefly, the package should be monitored within 3 hours. 3 hours delivered and during normal hours or within 3 hours from the beginning of the next working day if delivered after working hours. The survey must be done on the surface of the package and at 1 meter with GM survey meter, and reading should not exceed the limit of 200 ml per hour and 10 ml per hour. Right test of the package must be done according to the 10 CSR 20 and the limit for the test is 0.003 MCI to 600 BQ or 1111 BQ per 300 CM2. All data must be entered in the receipt. Preparation of radioactive pharmaceuticals. All formulating should be carried out in laminar flows under aseptic condition. Work should be done behind the lead barrier shield. And gloves should be worn for handling radioactivity. Many radio Many radiopharmaceuticals, particularly 99 and TC labeled radioactive pharmaceuticals, are prepared daily for nuclear medicine tests. A few 1231 labeled compounds such as the 1231 MIB, G and fatty acids are labeled on the side because they are not normally available for the formation form. The 99 and TC label radioactive pharmaceutical. The 99 MTC activity is elicited from the moly generator daily early in the morning. So this is the procedure of preparation of radio pharmaceuticals isotopes or other drugs. After assaying in the dose calculator and performing the test for the molybdenum breakthrough, ammonium breakthrough, pH and radiochemical purity by chromatography, the 99 MTC, while identified with a label containing the information as to total activity, concentration, time of calibration, and a nuclear pharmacy control. This information should be recorded on the generator control sheet. 99 MTC label for the radio pharmaceuticals are prepared using kits from various manufacturers. The total 99 MTC activity to be added to the kits while depending on the number of patients and their scheduled time for the study. Sufficient activity must be added to allow for decay for the later situation. Later situation. Sometimes the 99 MTC elute needs to be diluted because of the high concentration, and it should be done with the isotonic saline without preservatives. Caution should be exercised not to introduce air in the line. Most 99 MTC labels preparations are made by the simply mixing the kit containing 99 MTC activity. In some formulations, sequence addition of the different ingredients are needed, and in other, heating of the content is required. After reconstitution, a control number is assigned to the kit. After reconstitution, the control number is assigned to the kit while a label with information such as a control number, product name, concentration, date and time of the calibration and expiration is passed on the lead container. The radiation label is also placed on the container. The above information, as well as other items such as the manufacturer control number for the kits, saline used for dilation, the volume of saline, and so forth, are also recorded in the logbook. Quality control of the radio pharmaceuticals. Each radio pharmaceuticals Each radio pharmaceutical must pass several quality control tests before dispensing for human administration. Regular checks should be made for the stability, apparentity, and the radiochemical purity of all labeled products. Commercial vendor often guarantee the quality and efficacy of the label compound, and in those situations, rigorous quality control tests are not needed. However, However, 99 TC labeled radioactive pharmaceuticals are prepared daily and labeled efficiently must be determined by thin layer of paper chromatography. Preparation with the poor labeling should be discarded. So you have seen the quality control of radio pharmaceutical. It's a very specialized field. Very few pharmacists are coming over on this side because of the radioactive element radiation hazards. Colloidal and macro aggregated preparation must be checked for particle size and preparation with the inappropriate particle size must be discarded. New radio pharmaceutical and investigational drugs. Investigational drugs are those drugs which are under trial. Require sterility and pyrogenic tests besides radiochemical impurity. For short life radionuclides, the sterility of the pyrogenic test can be conducted on an effective conducted on an after the fact basis. Such radiopharmaceuticals are administered to humans, while the biological tests are continued until the final results are obtained. If the results are positive, the subject is then followed up for any symptoms for which remedial medications are instituted. Now we talk about the storage. Radiopharmaceuticals. हाँ हाँ मैंने नहीं मैं आपके सीरियल के बैक साइड पे मीटिंग अगर आया हूँ मेरे पास एक्चुअली नेट नहीं चल रहा था आज से तो मैं यहाँ आया हूँ यहाँ से मैं अभी ऑनलाइन लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ तो मैं यहाँ आके ले जाऊँगा बता दीजिए ऑफिस में किसी को दे दीजिए मारिया है तो मारिया को दे दीजिए हाँ मैं आता हूँ 1 घंटे 12 बजे के बाद आ रहा हूँ ठीक है हाँ, मैं नहीं आ रहा हूँ मैं अभी बैठ हूँ। Radiopharmaceuticals should be properly stored so that they are not deteriorated by the light temperature. For example, 99 pixel labeled macroaggregation albumin should be stored at 24 degrees centigrade to prevent any bacterial growth and denaturation of proteins, whereas 99 NPC sulfur colloids can be stored at a room temperature without any adverse effects. Since radiation exposure is a serious problem in the nuclear pharmacy, the vial or syringes containing radiopharmaceutical must be stored in a lead container or behind lead shield. In many institutions, lead safes are built into the wall of a room for storage of the radioactive material to prevent the production of the fumes falling in high Z materials such as a lead 32 T level compound and 89 SR and SR Cl2 are stored in a low Z material containers such as the plastic or lucid container. So these are all precautions taken to overcome the hazards of radioactive elements to a handler. Dispensing start with the prescription or a hospital requisite made by the routine physician or nuclear medicine study for patient. In the case of a centralized nuclear pharmacy, what a verbal order by telephone can replace written prescription. Each prescription or requisition should contain patient name and identification number, clinical or hospital number, age and the date, the type of studies, the type and dosage, radiopharmaceuticals, and the signature of the authorized user physician. In many institutions, the dosage for many routine nuclear medicine studies are standard, such as the 20 MCI, 740 BG, 1990 MTC, MDP for whole body bone imaging, and MC and 4 MCI, 148 MQ, 99 MTC, MMA for lungs imaging, and therefore may be omitted in a prescription. A list of these standard list of these standard dosage should be readily available in the nuclear pharmacy. Before a dose is drawn, the volume to be drawn is calculated from the knowledge of the concentration and the rate and time of the calibration by means of a decay due for the radionuclide in question. The required volume is then drawn in a syringe. Drawn in a syringe aseptically behind the lead barrier shield, and the final dose is assayed in the dose calibrator. Often, radiopharmaceutical doses are drawn recalibrated. The meter of the policy and matter of the policy. The dosage drawn should not deviate by more than 10% from the calculated dosage. The syringe containing the dosage is labeled as to its content and quantity and then placed in a lead syringe holder. If the syringe label is not visible from outside, the holder must be labeled. If the dosage is to be transported to a distant institution, it should be calibrated on arrival. Proper decay correction must be made for the time during the first and second calibration. Each time, each time a radiopharmaceutical dosage is dispensed, the date and the time of dispensing, the patient name and identification number, the name, the quantity, and the control number of the radiopharmaceuticals, and the name of individual dispensing the dose must be entered in the radiopharmaceutical dispensing book. In a centralized nuclear pharmacy, the patient name, physician name, and the prescription number are given to each dosage of a radiopharmaceutical dispense. The receiving institution must enter all pertinent information in the record book. As it is shown over here, action of the adult administered dose changes the pediatric administration, weight, fraction, weight in kilogram per pound, and fraction. And pediatric dosage, the metabolism, biodistribution, and excretion of the drug are different in children from the dose in adult, and therefore those in adult, and therefore the radiopharmaceutical dosage for children must be adjusted. Several methods and formulas have been reported on pediatric dosage calculation based on body weight, body surface area, combination of the weight and area, and sample ratio of adult dosage. The calculation based on the body surface area is more accurate for pediatric dosage. The body surface area of an average adult is 1.73 meters square and proportion to the 0.7 power of the body weight. Based on this information, the pediatric task group, European Association Nuclear Medicine, this is a reference. Member, members publish the fraction of the adult dosage needed for the children, which are however, for most nuclear studies, there is a minimum dose requirement scan, which is primarily established in each institution based on experience. Radioactive waste we will discuss in the next class. So up to here, we have discussed about the how to handle, how to dispense, how to prepare the radio pharmaceutical preparations. This is a very specialized area. So this is all for today.